What a good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to Supreme Student Government's virtual leadership training with the team Emerging Leaders in the New Normal Realization and Resilience Amidst Crisis. I am Jonas A. Romero, Supreme Student Government's Public Information Officer of Shalita Zamora Junior High School. Before we start our program, we should do a pray first, as we call on Czjhs Morris, our SSG auditor, to lead the opening prayer. Let's bow our heads and feel the presence of God.
Please bow our heads, close our eyes, and please be silent for this short prayer. Lord, thank you for the nice weather we have today. May you give us determination, knowledge, and energy to actively participate into this leadership training led by our school SSG. Please do also guide us in our daily life and keep us safe from harm and virus that roams around us. Thank you for the blessings that we cherish in every day. And please, let these students participated in this activity discover and understand fully the lesson we will give today. Thank you.
Thank you, Czjhs Morris, for that wonderful prayer. We feel that God is in our side right now and watching us as always. Now let's move on to the part of hearing motivational words of God in prayer for fulfilling the needs of our heart and soul in our life. That will be led by Elise Vania Santiago, SSG Grayton Chairperson.
Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be your servant. Matthew chapter 20, verse 26. Jesus does not tell his disciples to give up on the ambition to be great. He does not even tell them to stop competing for the position of greatness. Instead, Jesus tells them how to win. Jesus' kingdom operates by a different set of standards. Greatness is not found in position. Greatness is not found in the exercise of power. Greatness is not found in being served. Greatness is not found in commanding others. Greatness is not found in wealth. Greatness is not found in intellect. If you want to be great, you must serve others in order to be with their position. You must have compassion and humility in giving service to others. Will this better the people I serve, or will this make their situation worse? If you want to be great, Jesus says you must become a servant.
Thank you, Elise Vania Santiago, our SSG Grayton Chairperson, for that. It motivates us and feeds our soul with words that is needed by our heart and mind. Are you guys ready? Papunta na tayo sa exciting part dahil we are now moving to the next level. Yes, the next level. Para naman tayo ay ganahan sa ating programa na ito, ay umpisahan muna natin ito sa isang Energizer. Lahat ay dapat makisali, so let's move with the SSG Grade 9 representatives.
Basta la Czjhs Idol.
Fly high butterfly. 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 Par G, papa paru G. 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 Par
nagising ang ating mga natutulog na kaluluwa at tayo ay gaganahan palalo dahil ngayon ay mag-uumpisa na ang ating programa na pangungunahan ni Ginang Hernaline Amabilis, ang ating SSG advisor ng Shalito Zamora Junior High School. Siya ay ating tawagan upang umpisahan ang welcome remarks.
Isang mapagpaalang araw sa inyong lahat mga Czjhs mula po sa pamunuan ng Supreme Student Government at sa suporta ng ating pinakamamahal na punong guro Dr. Alvin D. Angus. Pinahahatid po namin sa inyong lahat ang leadership training na ito na makatutulong po sa inyong buhay bilang mag-aaral at mabuting mamamayan ng ating bansa. Ang training na ito hinati po natin sa dalawang parte. Ito ay mapapanood ngayong araw at sa susunod na Lunes, May 23. May attendance po tayo sa pamamagitan ng G-form at may mga ilang katanungan na dapat yung sagutan na may kalakip na puntos sa inyong AP o Araling Panlipunan class. Makinig po tayo, tutukan ng lahat ng ating mga gawain sa araw na to at matuto sapagkat ito ay napakahalaga sa inyo mga Czjhs. Welcome to our SSG Leadership Training 2022.
Ayan na nga ang exciting part. Ito ang pinaka-sentro ng ating programa na leadership training na ang tema ay Emerging Leaders in the New Normal, Realization and Resilience Amidst Crisis. As we start our second part, which is the training proper na may paksa na Embarking Leadership on a Journey of Continuous Learning. Are you guys ready to listen and watch? So now let's proceed in our training proper as we call on Mr. Aaron D., our Shalito Zamora Junior High School host for today. Let's give him a heartwarming welcome and a round of applause.
Good day everyone! Welcome to the topic, Embarking on Leadership through Continuous Learning, wherein our objective here is for you to realize the importance of these thoughts with each other. So, how are we gonna understand leadership with the help of learning? Or how can we be effective leaders with learning? And on the other hand, how can we be effective learners with leadership skills? So, with that, for us to be able to achieve that, in our discussion, we will be defining first leadership and learning. Then we'll be looking at the qualities of a good leader and a good learner or an effective learning. Then after that, we'll be integrating each other. So what's the importance of leadership in learning? And what's also the importance of learning in leadership? So I hope you are ready with our discussion. So let's start. First, let's define what is leadership. Let's begin by knowing deeply leadership. So, in your case, what are your thoughts? I know and I believe that you have your thoughts about leadership and you have your own definition or perspective of what leadership is. You can actually share that in our comment section or you may comment to our chat box a word or one word on how you define leadership. Okay, now let's define leadership. Leadership is the ability of an individual or a group of individuals to influence and guide followers or other members of an organization. So we all know that whenever there is a task given at hand, somebody will always stand and will help the group and will lead the group. Somebody will always organize the group and will influence the group and will definitely help the group in order for you to achieve a common goal. Now, that's the usual thing in a classroom setting. But let me tell you or remind you, okay, that on your own you can also be, or you are actually considered a leader, because in your life, especially or specifically in your everyday life, you actually decide on what will happen next or what will happen for tomorrow. You're actually given the chance to choose from the decisions that you make every day. You're actually given the chance to accept an opportunity or not and be able to experience things. And without leadership in you, then you won't be able to do that or to succeed in that specific opportunity or dilemma. So I know that In short, I'm telling you that leadership is not only by definition something that you will see with the leaders, usually in the group activities or leaders on the television, but also actually you are also considered a leader, and I hope you take note of that. Okay, and it's actually an ability. You can learn it, you can practice it, you can actually get inspired by the experiences of other leaders or successful leaders in your time or even before, and try to adapt that into your own life to also become an active person, okay, in helping your personal life or sometimes in your professional endeavors. So that's leadership. Now, let's go to the definition of learning. So what is learning? Let's define it. And if you know some words or thoughts about learning, or how to become an effective learner, then why don't you share that on our comment section or to our chat box. Learning is a process that leads to change, which occurs as a result of experience and increases the potential for improved performance and future learning. So it's a process wherein we are doing our best to understand or to grasp a specific idea or a specific thought or an experience, and we undergo that. Okay, we do different strategies and techniques. We different approaches. We use different ways in order for you to understand deeply or to at least learn from that specific experience. Because there's no learning if you don't apply anything that would help you to understand something. Okay, if you did not experience that, as they say. And after that, after following the process, either you successfully get something from it, okay, or sometimes you won't successfully get what you desire, or your desired outcome, but at least you're able to increase the potential of improvement. And as you do it again, you know better. Okay, as you face it in the future, you know how to face it. So that's how we define learning. Okay? That's how we see learning as a process. And you cannot say, or you won't say that learning is only for people who are really intelligent, or what do you call that? Really smart. But there are ways in order for you to learn. There are always reasons, and there are always possibilities and possible means for you to be able to achieve that learning. So those are the definitions of learning and leadership. So as we go along, I hope that you are able to connect the two. Okay, to connect the two, because our aim here is for you to see the relevance of these two in each entities. In each entity, you have to be able to know the importance of, or the connection of learning to leadership, and leadership to learning. So let's continue. Now, as I said, we'll also be talking about the qualities of a good leader. So you will observe that our discussion is like a discovery discussion. First, we defined leadership and learning. Now we are looking into the qualities of a good leader, because I want you to discover these qualities and to learn them, so that it will be easier for you to connect later the resemblances or the relevance of these two. So now, what are the qualities of a good leader? Number 1, they are self-aware and they prioritize personal development. So effective leaders focus on developing their emotional intelligence, as Czjhs says. Leaders that work to refine this quality are more adaptive, resilient, and accepting of feedback from others. They're also effective listeners and open to change. So as a leader, one thing that you need to understand is you have to be able to refine the quality that you have. Okay? You have to be able to be adapted to changes. You have to be resilient to calamities and to challenges of your everyday life, and be able to accept feedback from other people. So as we all know, sometimes in our everyday lives, we encounter people who would give us feedbacks, or feedback that can be constructive, or that can be destructive. Okay, so as a leader, you have to know how to handle those criticisms, and be able to get the important thing from their criticisms and apply them into your own life. Okay, and you should also be a good listener. It's not that as a leader, especially for your group, you're the only one who's always talking, or your ideas are only things that are heard in a conversation. As a leader, you have to be a good listener too, by means of letting your members express their thoughts and listen to their empathically listen to what are they experiencing too. Okay, what are their experiences, and you will have to respect that. And from those decisions, from those thoughts and ideas, you would come up with a good decision or a good idea. Okay, so they are self-aware and they prioritize personal development. Next, they focus on developing others. As a leader, it's not only you that is the center of everything. As a leader, you have to understand that you have members that you also need to help. Okay, help personally, okay, or help professionally. Effective leaders adapt to whether an individual or group is ready, willing, and able to take specific action. You have to be able to delegate, to coach, and to mentor these people, because these are important tasks in order for them to become encouraged. Okay? So let's say you're given a chance or opportunity to do a thing. Then you have to make sure that they're ready by means of asking them. Let's say, for example, you have a group member who's not good yet at that specific action or at that specific assignment. Then you can help the person before starting the project. Okay, let's say the student or your classmates are not ready yet for competition or for speech choir competition. So in your practice, you have to help them. You have to enrich them. Okay, you have to share. If ever you have your ideas about speech choir, you have to be able to prepare them for that. Okay, so that as a team, as a group, and also you as a leader, you're able to listen to what they know, to what they have, and you're able to adapt to what they're ready for, okay, what they're up to. So as a leader, you have to focus on developing also others, not only you. Okay? Next. Third is leaders encourage strategic thinking, innovation, and action. So leaders must consider internal organizational factors such as product roadmaps and staff needs, as well as external factors like including regulations and technology advancement when making strategic decisions. Yeah, that's true. As a leader, you're after the quality of your task or your outcome. So you have to be able to think of different roadmaps, different strategies, different motivations, different changes and innovations, and specifically actions that would lead to the success of your group. Okay, you have to plan. You have to plan carefully together with your group what would be the steps you're going to do in order for you to get your outcome or your target. Okay? So be strategic, be innovative, and be active. Next quality of a good leader is that a good leader is ethical and civic minded. Strong leaders consider the ethical consequences of decisions that they make for both their customers and their teams. So when you are deciding, number one is you have to listen to everything and to all the considerations. You have to be able to understand. You have to know what can be the consequences if you do this decision. Okay, are there any ethical considerations that will, or ethical thoughts that will be ruined by this decision, or that will be affected by this decision? Or are is your team 100% ready to accept the changes that you're going to do, or to the decision? Are your members ready 100% to the challenges and to the decisions and the goals that you're going to have? Okay, so are they ready as professionally and personally? Because if you don't consider them, then I think it will not be effective, and if you don't listen to them, your decision will not be consulted. You will not be consulting different people or different ideas or different norms or different institutions. Then it will not be like a good decision or a good plan. So you have to be ethical and you have to be civic. Next, another thing is that they practice effective cross-cultural communication. Respected leaders are able to clearly communicate with individuals and to stakeholders outside the organization. In an increasingly global economy, leaders must also acknowledge and respect different communication traditions. Now that you have, let's say, you have successfully fixed and organized your team, everything inside, now it's the time for you to communicate with other groups. Okay, you have to be cross-cultural communication because your group is not an island. You can stand on its own. Your group should also learn from the best practices of other groups. And you as a leader, you have to be able to learn also the best practices of other leaders and modify them. Get them, learn from them, get inspired by them, and apply them into your own team or into your life or into your group. So that in the next time you're going to do an assignment opportunity, you can apply better ideas and better thoughts that you learn. Not only within yourself, but also from the other best practices. So you have to be communicating your thoughts also with other people. You have to understand. And in return, I know that they will also understand you. And they will also learn from you. Okay, so those are the good qualities of a good leader. So do you think that you have or that you possess those qualities? Okay, so if you possess those qualities, then those who do not possess them yet, then add more and learn more and explore more about leadership. Okay, next. So those are the qualities. Now let's go to what are the qualities of a good leader? A good learner, on the other hand. So it's not a learner is a student, and you have your own strategies in order for you to learn something. But what are the different qualities? Number one, learners, they have commitment. They commit to every task that is expected of you as a learner to wholeheartedly and work your hardest. So whatever task you have, well, your student, you have to be able to work your best. You have to be able to bring out the best in that situation. You have to be able to commit yourself in whatever task is given to you. Whatever time is given to you, you have to respect that. You have to give your 101% in dealing with that. As you commit wholeheartedly, and I think everything will follow. Okay? When you're committed, you are persevered and you are determined to finish that. In the first place, you tell yourself you're committed to that, then you will be loyal to that, and you will achieve it at the end of the day. Next. Number two is that learners or effective learners are good at self-discipline. So being a good learner requires making a study plan and sticking to it, even when there are things you'd rather be doing. So if you're committed, then you'll also be looking for different ways for you to successfully do that thing. And one element that you need to have is self-discipline. The moment that you write, you have to write in your diary your schedule, your tasks, your goal to achieve for that specific day, and you have to stick to that. You have to tell yourself that no other stuff, especially if that's scheduled on that specific day, you have to focus on it, and you have to discipline yourself to finish and to do the things that you need to do the processes that you need to apply in order for you to finish it. You have to stick to that. Self-discipline. Next, third is self-awareness. So a good learner or an effective learner gets to know himself well. Okay? Understand when and how you learn best. What sort of revision helps you retain information. So as a good learner, you have to respect yourself. You have to explore more about yourself. So from which do you learn the best? You learn from watching what you're learning, or listening to what you're learning, or experiencing your learning. It's up to you. If you know that, from that, you can already find techniques and activities that will be helpful to you. Okay? And if you know when to learn, when's the time wherein you learn your best or you learn best, then you have to stick to that. If it's at night, stick to that. If it's in the morning, then study in the morning. And in learning, there are strategies that can be helpful to you and not helpful to you. So in learning, you have to know also your different ways to learn that specific idea or specific thought. It can be like by writing down what you're reading, or writing down the gist of what you're reading to retain in your mind, or reciting it loudly in order for you to memorize them or to remember them. So it's up to you. And you have to be self-aware of that. How can you learn best? Next, number 4, excellent in listening skills. Just like in leadership, as good learners are also good at listening. They learn the art of completely concentrating on what others are saying. Thoughts can wander when someone else is talking. We all know that, especially in the classroom. When your teacher is talking and you're not focused on what your teacher is telling you, then there's a possibility that other thoughts can preoccupy you, or that can occupy your mind. And after that, after your teacher talked in front, and you will not learn anything. Okay? So it's important you focus on it. You concentrate. That's the right term. So when someone is talking, your mind can wander and go to different far places and not listen to what others are telling. But if you practice it, or if you practice concentrating, it does become easier and will help you absorb more of the information you hear in class. Imagine yourself, focus on what your teacher is telling you, right? Imagine yourself focusing and giving your effort to listen to every word your teacher is telling you. At least you will get the right information that you need to get because you're listening properly. And you will learn from that, I assure you. Next, 5th is good learners are good at focusing on some things. So learning to switch off from all other distractions and give your subject your total attention will also help you absorb what you are learning. So again, self-discipline. Put your your attention to who is in front of you or to what is in front of you, and focus. Okay, when I say focus, avoid distractions, avoid other things that you're thinking, avoid television, cell phones. If they're not connected to what you're doing, avoid them. Avoid the things that are not helpful, that can distract your learning process. Focus. Next, as effective learners, you should also be determined and you should be resilient. Okay, you should have the resilience to pick yourself up and then channel that determination to make sure you do succeed. So sometimes, even though we do a strategy or we try our best, there will always be tribulations, or there will always be challenges along the way. Okay, not all the time that the outcome or the result will be positive. So when that time comes, or when that time happens, you should not quit. Okay, you should not put in your mind that you should stop. Better if you put in your mind to try again. Okay, to be resilient, to try again, to be determined to try, because in trying you experience and you master things. Okay, you're not an expert that the first time you will try it, you will get it right away, or you will successfully expect the outcome that you're expecting. Okay, sometimes people really are challenged to try it for so many times before they can successfully say that they succeeded. Okay? So you should have determination and resilience. Next is curiosity. To become an effective learner, you should have that curiosity to understand and to explore and to think of more ideas and thoughts. There's a desire to know, or this is actually a desire to know or learn, and you never stop until you get the right information. So with the curiosity, it's actually the driving force that would ask you to learn more. So you have to stick to that. And without the curiosity, then there's no reason for you to learn something, because you're not curious about it and you don't have any desire to learn it. So what for are you learning, or what for are you studying? So you have to be able, good thing if you're always curious with what you are learning, you have to give that spark in your mind and continue it, grasp it, and start from it. Then go to your strategies and techniques and learn. Then we have passion and enthusiasm. So in learning, it's not only definitely about technically learning things. But as you study, you should also be enjoying it. Above all else, what for are you doing what for are you learning, or what for are you reading if you don't love your studies? Okay? So knowledge is a great thing. Develop a passion for learning and your life will always be filled with wonder. So as students or as leaders, you have to be able to put this in your mind. You have to have passion and enthusiasm. You have to always be excited in learning. Because the moment that you stop learning, that's a time when you become stagnant. That's a time when you become underdeveloped. Okay? And whatever it is that you're learning, I hope that you find the positive thing about it, and I hope that you find passion and enthusiasm out of it. And you have to love it. Because as you love it, as you love what you're doing, everything will follow. So, those are the qualities of leadership and learning. Effective leaders and effective learners. Why are these qualities important to learn? Now, why are these things in leadership and in learning important to learn? What are their relevance? Now, as we said, we have to be able to integrate these two. So as we discussed, we understood different qualities that leaders should have and learners should have. And you will observe they have similarities, right? So what do you think are these similarities? These interchanging thoughts that you can apply as a leader and as a learner. Do they have any connection? So let's see in the comment section in the chat box, and what are these qualities that you think can help you as a leader and as a learner? Okay, go. So it's important that we understand those qualities and the definition of leadership and learning, because both qualities can actually be helpful to each other. Because as they say, leaders are also learners. Okay, in school, you look for different strategies, different ways to learn, and you experience learning. And that moment alone, you're already considered leaders in your own way, because you are striving, you are fighting in order for you to learn, right? When you say leader, it's not only about you going in front of the classroom or going in front of stage and speaking in front of many people. In your own self, you can be a leader by organizing yourself, organizing your thought, preparing your schedule, organizing your day, and being able to achieve what you want to achieve in your studies and in your life. Because leaders are learners. And I know if you're a good learner and you know how to decipher things and to maximize the learning that you have, you can also be a leader in your own way. And another thing, leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. Okay? Meaning, a leader cannot lead without knowledge and a desire to learn, and must continue learning in order to maintain a position of leadership. When a leader is assigned to become a leader, that specific person, that specific leader should do his part to learn and to get more knowledge, to have a desire to learn. You should have a strategy to learn, because if you don't learn, then how will you be able to help your teammates? Like with the teachers are also leaders. When your teachers stop learning, stop studying, then the teacher will be stagnant inside the classroom. The more that the teacher learns something, then the more ideas and thoughts can be shared inside the classroom in her processing time. Imagine a teacher who shares more experience and who shares different experiences because of learning more. That's actually good. And as you continue learning, you will be able to get that dignity and get that position of leader. When you say leadership, it doesn't mean that you need to have a position just to be considered leader. Well, most of the time it's like that. But as I said, in your own life, you can be a leader in your own. You can learn, you can challenge yourself more, you can organize yourself more, you can learn from those leaders of their own lives and apply it in your life, modify them to become successful person as you are. And by that, if you follow the processes, if you do the strategies, then I can consider you as a leader too. Okay? So never stop learning and never stop understanding and coping with the changes of the time. Because all leaders are also learners. Again, then the moment you stop learning, you stop leading. I learn as much as I can from as many as I can, as often as I can. Okay? So the moment that you stop learning, that's also the moment that your life will be stagnant. The moment that your life will also be stopped in leading. Okay? The moment that you stop and you tell yourself that it's enough, that's the time also that everything around you will stop. Okay? The moment that you stop working for your family or for your life, that's also the moment where it will lead you to lack of finances. Again, you're leader in your own life. So as you continue to live, you have to also learn from the experiences, not only from the books that you're reading every day, but also in life that you are facing, that you are experiencing. So learn as much as you can, read as much as you can, learn, talk to people, get ideas from them as often as you can. Then, at the end of it, remember that, as I said, you are leaders in your own life. Okay? And I encourage everyone to never stop learning. Not only in school, but also in your everyday life. Never stop looking and learning from your experiences, and never stop learning from other people's experiences. Never stop learning from other leaders too, in order for you to be able to apply that to your own life. As a leader, say you're a leader with a position and expected to do something, the great foundation that you can have is by means of experiencing your own life first. Okay? Learn on your own, then enrich your own, then learn, keep on learning, get to know yourself more and what type of leader are you. Then from that, communicate with other leaders, communicate with other experiences, learn different thoughts, and you can become an effective leader too. Okay, so that's how important our topic is for today. So embarking on leadership through unending learning, because when you have to put in your mind that you are responsible in your own life, and you're a leader on your own. So one tip is to never stop learning and enriching yourself. So that's it for our topic. I hope that you learned a lot from it somehow. And I hope that you can also apply the qualities or train yourself or help yourselves to have the qualities of a good leader and a good learner, and apply them both in yourself. So that's it. Thank you very much, and God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our very inspiring speaker, Mr. Aaron D. Thank you for sharing your expertise and time with us. Tunay na ang dami naming natutunan today. Paalala ko po sa lahat na nanonood ngayon, may sasagutan po kayong G-form para sa inyong attendance at may mga ilang questions po doon regarding sa ating tinalakay ngayon. Abangan at tutukan din po natin ang Day 2 ng ating leadership training na mapapanood next Monday, May 23. Same time, same YouTube channel. Paalam sa lahat, Czjhs. God bless sa ating lahat.
Diyos, makabayan, matalino, makakalikasan, mabuting tao, yan katangiang tinataglay ko, karangalan mula sa'yo. Mataas na parang Chilito sa mora, minamahal naming eskwela, saang ikaw ay ina, dala mo ay ilaw at pag-asa. Ngayon ay kayang-kayang abutin, abot kamay na pangarap namin, habang buhay pagpapasalamat sa alma mater kong nililiyan. Mataas na para lang Chilito sa mora, minamahal naming eskwela, sa amin ikaw ay ina, dala mo ay ilaw at pag-asa. Kailanman, saan man, ipagmamahal pinagmalaki ko ang dangal mong bigay. Selesyan ako, mataas na para lang